Hey Facebook land, it's Jen. I'm the host of free Facebook group Energized Women. The purpose of the group is to help support busy women who pretty much have spent their entire lives putting everybody else first, looking after everybody else, being a good mother, sister, daughter, partner, whatever. And now they realise that it's also important to make themselves a priority. So that's what the group is all about. If you'd like to join, the link is in the description. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm going to see if I can share the video with the group. So just hold on for 2 seconds. Description there. Okay, done. So tonight's topic is on goal setting. I've called it goal setting fails because it's obviously an area that a lot of people struggle with. Hopefully you can't hear my crazy little dog in the background, but if you can, apologies. I'll just try and ignore him. He's obviously barking at somebody going past the front door. Okay, so goal setting. Question for you all. How many of you can relate to this? You've set a goal and then promptly forgotten about it a few days later because, well, basically just because life gets in the way. So if you can relate to that, then please type yay me in the comments. Even if you're watching the recording of this as opposed to live, then I'd love to know that I'm talking to people who can relate. So if you've set a goal and then it just hasn't gone anywhere, like you might have even written it down, forgotten about it, or put it in a drawer and didn't look at it again. So if that's you, type yay me in the comments. The other thing I wanted to let you know about is there's going to be a special offer available for a few lucky people at the end of this video. It's not going to be a long video, so please stay tuned until the end and you'll see what the special offer is all about. So let's get stuck in. Goal setting fails. Now, sometimes I think the issues with the goals that we might set for ourselves, maybe they're too big, maybe they're not big enough, maybe they're not specific enough. So why do these types of goals perhaps not work? Now, in terms of making a goal that's too big, you have the potential issue of sending your brain into overwhelm. Because as I've mentioned in many of my videos before and all my studies of brain science, one of the big things about our brain is it's lazy. So it doesn't want to do anything that expends a lot of energy. So anything you do that is going to put your brain into overwhelm, essentially you're then fighting against your brain because your brain's trying to say, no, it's too much. So goals that are too big have the potential to do that. If they're not big enough, then perhaps they're not exciting or they're not motivating. So you don't really have any kind of drive to pursue them, basically. And if they're not specific enough, the issue with that is that you can very easily get distracted or forget about the goal because it doesn't really mean anything to you. And same as above, it can not be exciting or motivating enough if it's not specific. Because I think the key with a specific goal is it's like an anchor, and it's keeping you attached to the outcome that you want to achieve. So if you're doing or making these mistakes in your goal setting exercises, what can we do instead? A couple of ideas. Number one, how about trying to link your goals to your purpose in life? Now, purpose is a whole nother topic for, I could do a short video on it, I suppose, but it's quite a big topic, and it could do a whole training session on identifying your purpose in life and the importance of your purpose. But in terms of goal setting, if you can link your goals to your purpose in life, and then you can also break it down into various parts. So you might have work goals, family goals, personal goals, spiritual goals, health goals. There's a range of different categories that would be helpful to have goals within. Another really important point is to ensure that your goals really matter to you. Otherwise, what's the point? Your brain's pretty much going to go, oh, nah, won't bother about that. Also, have a think about when you're 70 or 80 years old and you look back on your life, try and think about the things that you will regret not having done or not having tried if you get to that age. So things that you might have on your bucket list, but I think that's a really helpful way to look at it. So fast forward, imagine yourself sitting in your rocking chair when you're 70 or 80 years old, looking back on your life. What are the things that if you don't do them, or you don't at least attempt to do them, that you will regret in those later years? So for example, that's what really was a huge part in motivating me to give up my career and chase my dream to be a singer. For those of you who don't know, that's what I did 5 years ago. And I did acoustic duos, and I also became the lead singer in a rock band. It was the scariest, yet the best thing that I have ever done, and I don't have any regrets. But the real motivating factor there was because I didn't want to get to the age of 60, 70, 80, if I'm lucky. I didn't want to get there and look back and go, oh, I really wish I'd at least tried to do that. So that can be a really powerful motivating factor. And then it also ensures that you're setting goals that do excite and motivate you. Just a little aside on that. Now, these goals, when we're talking about goal setting, it doesn't have to be huge change your life goals. While they're good to pursue as well, but all of these, I suppose, points are actually valid for smaller goal setting activities as well. So I've got a mini challenge for you now. If you'd like to participate, this is what I challenge you to do. Think of 3 things that if you don't do them, or at least attempt to do them, you will regret them down the track. So when you're sitting in that rocking chair, you will regret these things if you don't do them. Now choose one of those things. Again, this is to avoid overwhelming our lazy brain. Choose one of those things and break it down into smaller steps. Then take action. Obviously, pretty obvious, the next step. So take some action to move towards achieving that goal. I'd love to hear how you go with this mini challenge, and I'd love to hear what your goals are. If you're watching this and you're a member of my Energized Women group, I would love for you to share in the group. If you're not a member of my Energized Women group and you're female, obviously, please feel free to click on the link and join us in the group. So this has really been just a very brief introduction to goal setting. And I'd love to help you in a lot more detail if this is an area that you think would be helpful to you and perhaps an area you struggle a bit in. So the special offer I have for you tonight is I am making available 5 private coaching calls on goal setting at the special price of $67. So that's a 1-hour coaching call on goal setting. And if you're one of the first 5 people to email me at info@jenturnham.com, then you can take advantage of that special offer, $67 for a 1-hour coaching call with me. Now you've got 48 hours from now to do that. So basically this offer expires on Thursday the 8th of February at 6 p.m, just in case you're watching the replay of this. And it's the first 5 people to email me on info@jenturnham.com. So that's pretty much me over and out for this Tuesday night, coming to you live in Facebook land. Hope you've got some value out of this and love to see you in the group. Energize Women, check out the link in the description to this video. Ciao, ciao.